So hey everyone, I hope you're all well. Today I thought I'd try something a little bit different. It's just something I kind of wanted to experiment with on YouTube and my channel, I guess. And it's, I guess, what you'd call maybe a random topic vlog. It's just kind of inspired by things like, I think, Louise from A Sprinkle of Glitter does videos kind of like these sometimes. Maybe Gabby from Velvet Ghost and a few other sort of YouTubers that I watch, and I just thought I'd give it a go. I have my little notebook here, which is actually one of my blogging notebooks, with the sort of topics and random things I wanted to touch on. So yeah, it's going to be a bit, possibly a bit waffly, a bit rambly, but hopefully I can edit it into something that makes sense and yeah, enjoy. So one of the sort of first things I wanted to talk about was a video I actually saw over on my friend Brittany's YouTube channel. She is Scout and Company on the internet. I'm sure many of you all know her. She does really amazing vlogs and life videos and posts. Lovely person as well. She did a video recently because she's been uploading videos basically every day during April about how it's okay to not sort of share everything online, and I'll link it down below because it's a really good video, but I just sort of wanted to throw my 2 cents into the ring with that as well because I really agree with a lot of what she was saying in that video. I mean, I'm sure some of you probably think I'm a massive oversharer on some of my social channels, maybe not necessarily this one, but maybe Twitter, I don't know, Instagram and the like, but while I guess you could say in terms of Instagram, things like photos paint 1,000 words, they really don't, because photos are just it's a square picture, uploaded maybe once, twice, multiple times a day. If you're some people, that is really just a small snapshot of your life. Like, I don't post pictures or snaps like going to have a shower or got a flat tire, help me. So you get what I mean? Like, I don't, it's only a very small snapshot of everyone's life. I think there's a quote online, I think it's like, don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. What we choose to share online is very edited, even with Facebook and things now, because I have friends on my Facebook page who maybe aren't, I don't know, not like the people I'm sort of closest to in real life. They might be people that I met through university or blogging and things, and like, they're sort of more acquaintances. So I try to sort of keep the more, what's the word, personal stuff offline. Like if there's anything going on, I don't know, at home or with my family or jobs or whatever, which I'll touch on in a minute actually, but yeah, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it. Like, I know some people might get angry if they find out via Facebook or something that, I don't know, something major's gone on, and I mean, I know some people get offended. I get that. I mean, I get a bit upset when I find out things like that people have got engaged on Facebook and they haven't told me personally. Not always, just like sometimes. Like, there's some people I feel like you think they'd tell you that in person or contact you individually rather than doing a generic kind of update, but time constraints and things prevent that sometimes, and that's okay. But yeah, some people get offended, like, oh, why didn't you tell me, rah-de-rah. Maybe the person just doesn't want to tell you. There's that aspect of thing, and also I feel like we shouldn't have to share everything that's going on online. Like, I've had some stuff going on offline over the last sort of month-ish, 2 months maybe, and I'm not going to go into it now because it's not really relevant, but I haven't told many people about that. Even in my personal life, there's not an awful lot of people who really know about that, and that's just because, I don't know, I just don't want to tell them, and like, sometimes when you catch up with your friends and stuff, you just don't really want to talk about stuff like that that's happening. I mean, it is very good to sort of have an outlet, if you will, but I think sometimes it's important to just, kind of have an escape, or be able to sort of forget about that kind of stuff if you want to. So yeah, there's that, and also I just think it's important to still have some things to yourself. Like, at the moment, we live in such an information driven age, especially with technology and things, and I feel like it's only going to get not worse, but it's just, I think life is just going to become a lot less candid as time goes on, particularly online. Although maybe we'll see something and people will realise they actually value their privacy and their personal, not information, their personal stuff. I don't know, I can't think of a better word. It's like 9 a.m. and they value their personal stuff a lot more. And yeah, so I think it's really important on that level. And it's important to just live as well offline and do things without taking photos. Like, I don't necessarily have selfies or photos with all my friends. It's not because I don't like them, it's just because we're too busy, having fun or talking or having great meaningful conversations offline and just forget to take a photo. And like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes I would prefer to just have a nice, meaningful, engaging conversation with someone rather than take a ton of pictures with them and then have to leave because we've spent all the time taking selfies. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. I think privacy is not a bad thing in the slightest. If you value your privacy highly, good on you. If you want to share what you share online, good on you. I'm not judging anyone that feels the need to overshare. I'm just saying it's okay for people to value their privacy and not want to share everything. It was quite a deep sort of topic to open with, but I'm going to move on to something a bit kind of lighter, I guess, now, and that is a book I've been reading that I want to share with you. I'm not going to be including this in my monthly favourites this month, just because I already have a couple of books in my April favourites, and I just don't want to overload it with books as much as I do like books. But anyway, that book is Everyday Sexism by Laura Bates. As I'm filming this, which is Thursday, her follow-up book, Girl Up, I believe that is out today. So grab a copy if you can. Anyway, but Everyday Sexism, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this movement or may have read the book already. I think this book came out 2 or 3 years ago now, possibly 2. And it was a movement that was started on Twitter, where people could use the hashtag shouting back to express their sort of frustration or share stories of sexual harassment or instances where they've experienced sexism and gender inequality because of whether or not they're feminine or masculine, both sides of the coin, I guess. And then there was also a website where people could upload stories anonymously about instances where they've experienced sexism, and topics like politics or in the workplace, dealing with motherhood, what else? In the media, and a whole bunch of different topics like that. Because Laura Bates is based out of the UK, a lot of the statistics are UK based, but there are some more international numbers in the breakdowns as well, so it's not just exclusive to the UK. It opens with the writer's personal sort of stories and views on each of the topics in the book, and then it kind of goes into other people's stories and incidents that they're retelling and then statistics and what have you. I'm not gonna lie, at times I could feel myself like clenching my fists when I was reading this because it just made me so angry and so frustrated, and the fact that some of these really outlandish, ridiculous things are still going on in 2016 is not okay. Like, you think we would have moved on from some of this sort of ridiculous things like not marriage inequality, although that is something you would hope we had moved on from, like wages, the big wage disparity between males and females in a lot of sort of industries, and in media, women get asked what they're wearing, on the red carpet. It's always a big deal, like, who are you wearing, blah blah blah. The guys don't get asked that as much, if at all. And what else? And things like with motherhood, like, oh, when you come back to work after having a baby, you're not going to be anywhere near as productive. Performance is not going to be anywhere near as good, and vice versa. Just things like that really should still not be going on in 2016, and it's really frustrating. But This book is so eye-opening, and really fascinating and engaging, and just, it really gets you thinking a lot more about gender portrayal in media and everyday life in general, and the sort of beliefs and values, I guess, relating to those topics that we're kind of conditioned with from a very young age and from previous sort of generations. So yeah, I highly recommend this book if you haven't read it already. It's really fascinating. Something else that's sort of more on the gender side of things that is very fascinating is a podcast called Control Alt Delete, which is run by Emma Gannon of Girl Lost in a City blog. I will leave her blog down below as well as a link to the podcast because it is great. She interviews women and some men as well, I believe, about their lives growing up with the internet and what sort of role the internet has played in their careers and their lives in general. And so far she's interviewed people like Zoella, which was a really good episode, if not a bit too short for my liking. Elizabeth Gilbert, Mara Wilson is on one of the upcoming episodes, and then one of the ones she uploaded at the end of last week was with Rowan Blanchard, who is on Disney Channel show, which is basically like a spin-off of Boy Meets World, I believe, from the 90s. Is that a 90s show? I remember watching it, I'm guessing it is. And she is very sort of active in the feminist community, feminist movement, I guess. She's penned quite a few sort of posts online about feminism and things, and she often speaks out and is happy to talk about it in the media. And I forgot the main part here, she's only 14. When I was 14, I was worrying about trying to work out how I was going to pull together all my pennies to buy a juicy tube from Longcom, but not I mean, I'm sure there was definitely things with feminism like guys catcalling, which really began to start sort of bothering me at that age, but I definitely wasn't thinking about a lot of the kind of deeper issues that she was at that age. I mean, I'm sure I probably thought feminists were just like hardcore, outspoken hippies or something at that age. Don't judge me, I was a very misguided teenager, lost in my own little orbit. Yeah, and her episode is really, really good. I highly recommend you give it a listen if you can. She talks about a whole bunch of things. She touches on quite a bit about how we shouldn't feel bad for, posting selfies or things on Instagram, because she's like, you go through a male model's account and it will just be selfie after selfie after selfie, and, they don't care. No one feels bad about that for them, but, like, I mean, I hardly ever, for example, post selfies on my Instagram. One, because I am absolutely terrible at taking selfies. I'm just the worst. I'm not sure how I used to do it with such confidence back in the day, but now I'm just like, ugh, that looks so terrible. So there's that reason. Also because I feel like, people are going to be, oh, she's such a narcissist, posting selfies all day, every day, like, a lot of, like, beauty vloggers and stuff who post selfies for their job, and, they don't feel bad about it, they just go ahead and do it. So why should anyone else feel bad about posting it? Posting a selfie, I feel like, especially now, takes so much kind of confidence and guts. So, if people want to post selfies, let them post selfies. As long as they're not offensive or anything, I don't see what's wrong with it. Something else I wanted to touch on now, which is a little bit more light in topic, I guess, is a beauty product. Beauty product that's been sort of driving the makeup world a little bit crazy. People have been tearing their hair out, metaphorically trying to get this. It is the Kylie Lip Kits by Kylie Jenner, or Kylie Cosmetics as her company is known. I finally got one after many, many sort of, well, I think it first came out November, December, and when I first saw them, I was just like, whatever. To be honest, I'm still not really a fan of the original colours, but then when I saw colours like Poster K and Coco K start appearing, I was like, oh, those actually look really nice. And when I saw such positive reviews, my interest was piqued. I'm actually going to do a proper post on this and maybe another one at some point, but I just want to talk about this now and say they are definitely worth the hype. First off, this packaging is stunning. Like, you can't really see it, but those teeth are kind of holographic silver. I really love this graphic. I know a lot of people talk about this, but I just think that's really cool. They're cruelty free as well, which I love, and I think most of them, except for maybe one of the colours, is vegan. Which I think is Candy K possibly. So inside the box you get the lip liner, liquid lipstick. So I know a lot of people are saying, you know, the lip liner is unnecessary, blah blah blah, you don't need it. I actually think you do, because I find liquid lipsticks, you have to be really careful with them, because I feel like they're not liquid lipsticks, because they often dry down quite matte. Like matte lipsticks really, I guess, are not the most forgiving, especially the sort of more darker, vibrant shades. If you apply them slightly wrong, you're kind of in trouble, because you know they dry down so fast and you have to take it all off and start again. So I think the liner is a good move, especially since a lot of Kylie's audience are younger and probably sort of just starting to get into makeup. Sorry if I offend any young people here, but I'm imagining you're not that experienced with putting on lipstick. I know I certainly wasn't at that age. I'm still not the greatest at applying bolder lipsticks right now. I think the liner is good. A lot of people say they're quite creamy. I agree. They're not as sort of firm, if that makes sense, as MAC lip liners. They're definitely not the softest in the world, but they are a sort of good in between. Then you get liquid lipstick, which comes in this packaging. I'm sure we've all seen it on Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, everywhere now. So I have the shade Posy K, which I'm wearing on my lips right now. It's kind of a pinky brown colour, I guess you could say. You open it up. This is the one thing I will say I think is a bit bad. There's no kind of, you know, with most lip products and tubes, they have suction. So, which is good for hygiene reasons, and also because it stops the product pooling. So you have to be quite careful when you take it out. Like, I did that quite delicately. But you can see it's kind of pulled in a little bit, and also it's gathered up the top of the wand, so you have to be really careful. And I am quite careful. You could always wipe the wand down, I guess, but nobody wants to do that every time. So that's just a bit of a shame. But the applicator is really, really good. It makes it so easy, and because it's kind of pointed on the end, you can kind of get in really close to the sort of inner corners of your lips, and also the sort of Cupid's bow. Is that what the top part of your lips called? But yeah, really good, worth the hype. Try to get your hands on one from the website. Don't buy them on Trade Me or whatever, guys, because people are just ripping people off like crazy. Like, I saw someone there yesterday for $85. 85 New Zealand dollars, which is just ridiculous. And I know people on eBay and stuff are trying to sell them for much more than that. Just buy them through the official source. I mean, it's worth a wait, but yeah, don't buy them on like Trade Me and stuff, because people are ripping people off, which is really not cool. The last little thing I wanted to touch on, I can't believe this video is up to 20 minutes. I honestly thought I was maybe going to be able to talk for 2 minutes, but I guess I was feeling quite chatty today. I just wanted to give you guys a sort of life update, I guess. Some of you probably know this because I think I touched on it on my blog briefly a few weeks ago, but I'm actually no longer working at my little social media job, which was only part-time anyway. It was actually for a magazine shop here in Auckland. I'm no longer working there anymore. I was made redundant, which, you know, sucks, but that's just life, I suppose. I mean, I have a couple of other part-time jobs, and I also do some freelance writing, so it's not a total loss, but I was a bit gutted because I did really enjoy that job. So I'm no longer doing that. But like I said, I'm doing freelance work. I actually write twice-ish a month for Fashion NZ. I will link them down below, as well as the link to my posts, because I'm actually really bad at promoting them, which is not good, because I should be more onto promoting my work when I want to. Yeah, I'm writing for them, and also on my own blog, twice a week at the moment. I've cut back to twice a week again, guys, until about 20th maybe of June, because I'm back at uni, and this isn't, and people just, I know people think, oh, you know, she studies at home, you know, she's got all the time in the world, and to an extent I do, but I also don't really have the time to be blogging all day every day, because I have uni work to do and assignments to do and general life stuff like tidying up the kitchen, taking the dog for a walk, and, you know, running errands and things to do. So I just don't have time to sort of dedicate to blogging at the moment. So yeah, if you're just wondering why my blog's a bit kind of weird in terms of when I'm posting and how often I'm posting, that is why. But I'm going to stop talking now, because I've been talking for nearly half an hour. My voice is starting to go all funny, as you can probably tell, and I need to go get on with the day, I guess. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment down below if you did. if you want me to do more of these, let me know as well, because I have actually really enjoyed doing this. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a good day, and I will see you again soon. Bye!